Cute Pie, thank you for subscribing. So good to see you here. Look at that. We have things running. We have things working. Welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Let's take care of business. All right. Here's our subscriber mug for December. As you can see, it's quite empty because I haven't been streaming. That's sad on many counts. But here we are. Cute Pie, thank you. I'm going to mug you now. Here's you. Here's your mug. Here's your mug. Welcome. In you go. All right. Thank you so much. Always awesome to see you here. I hope you're doing well. Staying warm. Today, I think we're just going to keep it kind of low key and chill. We're going to, put a few bricks together. We're not going to stress too much about how much we get done. You're awake? Still good? Yeah, I know it's getting late for you, isn't it? We're going to put some bricks together. We'll chat a little bit. We'll talk about, plans for the holiday and see what we're going to do. And hopefully have a good time overall. Sound like a plan? Before we get going, Cute Pie, if you could help me out, because I upgraded my PC from Windows 10 to Windows 11. Then I've been messing with some things. So, if you could do me a favor and let me know how the volume is for music versus my voice. Is the music level okay, or is it too loud or too soft? So let me know. It's good. Excellent. If you think it's changing, or you'd like to modify it, let me know so that way I can adjust it. Also, I tried to put in a new feature. Let's see if it works. So what you do is you put exclamation mark drop and then an emote. For example, exclamation point, and hopefully we get a parachute drop. So we have the parachute drop game in here just to entertain you. In case things are a little slow, you get a little bored, you want to try dropping your emote. So give it a try. It also, look at that, I am the master. I think you can just put exclamation part drop and it'll just like drop a generic emote. So give it a try. If you get bored, if you just want to check it out, we have it. Okay. All right, let's get started. Where are we? There you go. That's how you do it. See? So like I said, if you don't put your own emote, it puts in a generic emote. And sometimes you land and sometimes you don't. I think you're going to land it. Oh, you got stuck against the wall. That happens sometimes if you're going slow. There you go. So I think I set a cooldown to like 30 seconds. So like you can't do it more like faster than that, but that's where we are. All right. So this is where we left off with the camper van. Let me move my keyboard and mouse because we're really not going to need that much during the stream. All right. Here we go. So this is where we are. Looking pretty good. It's in pretty good shape. We finished kind of like the main board of the van. We worked on the engine, as you can see. That's the engine. We finished part of the interior. We finished the front bumpers, front and rear bumpers. You can see it's even got its own little license plate, which is cute. And so that's kind of where we left off. And so I'm going to grab the parts that we need for this next step, and we'll get started. Cute Pie, tell me about how your day has gone. Tell me about how your week has gone. Any plans? Anything exciting you want to say? I'm excited to be back streaming. It has been a long time, y'all. It has been a long time. I've just been like so busy with work, and it's a bad excuse, but that's the truth, you know. So that's kind of how things are. Things have been pretty insane with work. So it kind of made me sad that I couldn't join. Boy, I put so many red pieces in this bin. I don't know if I'm going to be able to dig out the one I need. That concerns me a little bit. Okay. Well, first things first, let's get the other pieces we need. Just relaxing, crazy weather, right? I know weather's been a little cray for you. I know. But, hopefully you guys are able to stay inside and stay nice and cozy, right? So that's good. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to relocate some of these red parts into another bin because I can't need them. Danny, what are you trying to do? You're trying to kill me. Oh. All right. So I found one part that I needed. I need to find a couple of these wedges, which are teeny tiny. They're like 1x1 wedges. I had pizza. That sounds delicious. I have not eaten. Fun fact, I have not eaten dinner yet. But I'll get there. I did, though. I did bring some sustenance. Cheers. Salud. Courtesy of the Dino's Corner Bar. Maybe down here. Courtesy of the Dino's Corner Bar. Salud. That's delicious. We'll drop a cheers for you in the chat. Drop a cheers for you in the chat. All right. I think I got everything I need for this step. Delaying long enough. All right. And so let's start applying parts. Tell me, you have sweet tea. That sounds yummy. I would like some sweet tea. I'm not going to lie. I'm drinking Boddington's. Hashtag not sponsored by Boddington's. I wish I were. That would be amazing. Boddington's is one of my favorite beers. It's got a little bit of a honey character, which is amazing. Love it. All right, let's see if we can figure out where to put these other pieces. We kind of have to guess a little bit. I think I was supposed to get two of these 1x3 reds, and what happened is I got a 1x4 instead. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I can't breathe either, Danny. Can you believe it? Can you believe that we're so close to Christmas? Right? You're putting eardrops on Stormy. Oh, that's not fun for her, I'm sure. I'm sure she hates that. Say hi to Mom and Dad. Tell them they're always welcome on my stream. They're always welcome to stop in and say hi. I know Dad has an account. You can't see very well what I'm doing here, huh? Let's do it. Let's put it right there. You can see it pretty well there. Do you hear the attack geese in the background? The Canadian attack geese? Look, I'm going to turn up the volume. Listen for the attack geese. Do you hear the Canadian attack geese? They're there. Okay. So we finished that step. Doing good. She has an ear infection. Oh, that's sad. I'm sure she hates that even worse. Because ear infections, as a human, are terrible. Can't imagine how it is as a doggy, right? All right. I just need to see. So these curved pieces, these curved bricks are going to be these, or I should say, these corner bricks are going to be curved. So they're kind of specialized bricks. And of course, since they're the beginning of the build, they're going to be at the bottom. All right. I got one, and I got two. There we go. And then I'm going to need some other pieces. I'm going to need 3 of these 1x2 bricks. Argos has an ear infection too. It's because the sillies have been rolling around in the snow. Huh. I bet it's because they're rolling around in the snow like crazy dogs. Like crazy dogs. All right, the curved pieces go here, kind of on the outer section of the van. So as you can see, we're starting to build that rear wall. It's kind of nice, kind of nice. All right. And then one brick goes here. One gray 1x2 brick goes here. And then we have a third one that goes over here. Over here. Yeah. And then this special 2x2 plate with a ball joint is going to go right there. Looking good. Looking good. Do you know why the dogs got that ear infection? Is it because they've been rolling around in the snow? I know how much they love the snow, though. So, what are you going to do? Oh my goodness. I need to dig down here and get that 1x3 brick. It's like all the way at the bottom. See? All the way at the bottom. All right. I'm going to need 2 of these 1x3 bricks. I'm going to need 1 of these inverted 2x2 wedges. And then 1 gray. It's the weather? Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. I need 1 snot brick, and coincidentally, it's right on top. So I didn't have to, I need 2 of them. Dang. I didn't have to hunt for it, so I was so happy. But now I have to find the other snot brick. Found it. Found a snot brick. And I need 2 more of these curved segments. 1. What is this plate doing here? You don't belong there. All right, fantastic. Have you caught any other streams today, Cute Pie? For my part, haven't caught too much. I mean, I guess I have, but not too many different ones, right? So I modded for Kelaska earlier today. That was nice. It was nice to be able to spend some time in her stream because I've been super out of it. Ooh, did I miss a step? I feel like maybe I missed a step. Oh, no, I didn't miss a step. I just missed a part. Okay, so I need another one of these red inverted wedges. Okay. No, you've been cleaning today. Yeah, I get it. So for my part, I have been, let's see, I modded for Kelaska in the morning. That was cool. It was nice to like hang out with her and hear her sing for a while because I haven't been able to do that, really like dedicate attention and hang out and listen and chill in a long time. And what else? I caught Mermaid Unicorn. That was also really cool. I always love listening to Mermaid Unicorn. So much fun. And then caught a little bit of Missy Alcazar's stream. She is very entertaining, also fun, right? So, I heard. Yeah, I think I saw you mention that in one of the streams, Cute Pie. You found a rat. Is it like a rat? Was it a rat or is it a mouse? All right, let's see. Let's gather all the pieces we need. Let's see. We need a couple of these guys. Oh, not that one. You would think I would know where these translucent pieces are, but I don't. Did I drop them in here with the plates? I sure did. Okay. That was not very smart, Carlos. It was not very smart. Yeah, you found a big... Well, you know, mice could definitely do that. So you don't know how big it was? I mean, it could be mice. It could be mice. I mean, you guys do live in a rural place, right? So definitely going to get field mice, right? And in the winter, everything's looking for food. So what are you going to do, right? Let's see. We're going to attach these gray pieces here. So they're going to face backwards. And then we're going to put the tail lights on. That's kind of cool. These are basically the tail lights right there. Just like so. Very cool. That's very cool. I love how that looks. Very cool. All right, what else are we dropping in here? And then I don't even know where we're putting. Okay, it looks like I wish it would tell you, like, because okay, we're putting a piece here. Good, and then we have red 2 by and then the red pieces go here and here. You have to kind of like figure out where the pieces go. Yesterday you were house sitting. Who are you house sitting for? All right, so I need regular 1 by 1 bricks, not snot bricks. Oh, you were just sitting for mom and dad. That's cool. You're taking care of business. So you're just hanging out with the dogs. 1 by 3. Just one of those. And then I need 2 more wedges. I'll come back to that. Oh, I guess the rest are wedges or plates. So I need 2 1 by 3 plates. Acquired. I need 2 1 by 1 squares or plates. And I need 2 wedges, which I think I see, but I'm having a hard time reaching. That's 1 wedge. I need 1 more wedge and 1 more plate. Here's a plate. So I just need a 1 by 1 wedge, which I see. If I can pull it out. There we go. I think that's everything. Oh, no, we just need that that black 2x8 plate, 2x8 brick rather. Run errands, so you stayed back and you're watching Stormy and Argos. Nice. That must have been nice, right? Kind of chilling. Hey, Pine. Good to see you in here, buddy. How you doing? Welcome. We're just here working on a VW camper van. It's still pretty early on in the build, and listening to some music for some friends, just chatting. Yeah, nice. Well, I'm glad you could. Glad you could stop in. I'm glad you could stop in, bud. I caught some streams earlier. I think I was in Missy's stream and you were in there. Of course, I was kind of lurking. I was in deep lurk. So good to see you. I'm so happy you were able to stop in. How have you been? Off duty. That's great. That's great. Well, hey, cheers. Oh man. It has been a week, man. It has been a week. Actually, it's been a month. I'll kind of say that. Normally, my goal is to stream twice a week, and work has been crazy. I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just incredibly busy. Like I'm working like 12 to 15-hour days, and then of course family stuff, and so it's been impossible to stream without sacrificing something else. So it's nice to be able to get back to it and just kind of chat and listen to some music and put together some bricks. But you're always welcome here, friend. I really admire how you balance your work as you help some of the other streamers around. Trying to figure out how this goes. All right, so I think this piece goes here. So this is what we do. We just kind of put some bricks together. We chat. Yeah, I bet. I have a little YouTube playlist that I use with some friends' music who've allowed me to use it on stream. I haven't asked Missy yet, but I'll get to that. I just haven't, honestly, I haven't gotten to a couple of other streamers' music who I've asked permission for, and I just haven't gotten to it. But I'm always looking to add music to these streams. Had to put new belt on the vacuum. Oh, nice. Thanks, Pine. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm like super behind. I need to. So I have one streamer friend named Morgan Grace, who I will be adding music for. She is kind of punk rock music. Who else? I'm like it's been that long since I've streamed. I'm like I just literally don't remember, which is bad, right? There we go. That rear of the van is taking shape nicely, right? Look at that. Look at that. We got the taillights in, the motors in. We're building up that wall. Right. We're going to build the top of the, we're going to build the deck over the engine compartment. I did get to see Danny's documentary, Cute Pie. It was so good. Really enjoyed that. And I was excited to hear today that there's going to be some extended version in the works. It's really cool. I mean, Danny, she's one of the primary contributors to my courage, towards my inspiration to stream. So I'm very grateful for what she's done for me and for other streamers. It's been a lot. What did you think of the documentary, Cute Pie? Let's see. I'm looking for a 1x4 plate. Yeah, you enjoyed it? Nice. Very nice. Yeah. It was so well done. Nicely crafted. It was a very tight 8 minutes. You could tell that they had to work hard to really keep that down to only 8 minutes for TV. But they did a fantastic job. All right, I'm looking for the color I'm seeing on the screen is a little wonky, but that's a gold 2x2 plate. If I can find it. Should be here. Nope, sure isn't. I put it in the wrong bin. But that's what we're looking for. And then we're looking for 4 blue 2x2 flat tops. All right. Very good. All right, so that's what we're going to need. I'm just going to pop that back, pull the van right there. That's not bad. And we're going to put together the sub-assembly first. Right, so we're going to start here. I'm going to drop this right in the middle. Oop. There we go. Beautiful. Did I miss getting 1x1s? I sure did. I need to get some of these crimson 1x1. Is it only one? Nope, 2 of them. Yep. Crimson 1x1 plates. All right. And so let's build it off this edge because I think that's going to be easier to ensure that we're building in the right place. Beautiful. All right. Beautiful. There we go. I guess since you're here, Pine, did Missy finally end stream? I saw that she was still streaming when I was going live. All right, there we go. And we're going to add this boy right here. Very nice. That's great. I've been hanging out and lurking more in her streams lately. It's been a lot of fun. All right, so I'm going to zoom in here and see if I can figure out how this is going to go. So it's going to fit in between here. It looks like it's going to be 4 studs, so something like this. And then I'm going to have to kind of wedge it in there. Yep, about right there. That makes sense. So the front of this part of this large plate is actually there. Now push that down so it's level. No kidding. It is quite a show. a lot of fun. I really enjoy when I can spend time in her stream. And since I'm historically less active there, there's less pressure for me to interact. So I can feel free to lurk while I work, which has been all the time lately. There we go. All right, grab all these parts. We're gonna need some of these 2x1 plates with 2x1 plates with a little T-bar on the end. We need some of those, like 3. And I shifted some of the parts that I was using to this other bin, so it could very well be over here. Most likely. Get a little Lego ASMR while I'm searching. There it is. I need more wedges. There's so many parts. All right, 2 more wedges. I need a couple of gray. Are they gray? Sorry, I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit to see. Yeah, it must be gray. Okay. I need 1. Oh, you know what? It's not gray. I bet you that's a silver stud. So where did I hide the silver stud? Right here. Oh, see, that's really cool. So it's because it's like a high gloss silver. It's kind of cool. Not high gloss, not chromed, but it's a nice shiny matte silver. Yep. Very good. We're going to need a white wedge, which is right there. It's a lot of parts. We're going to need a couple of black L pieces, L plates. We're going to need some red flat top plates, 2 of these 1x3. And we're going to also need 2 1x2s. That's one of them. The others probably got relocated. So let's look over here. Yep, here's one. Come on, part. Part is fighting me. It's trying to hide under other pieces. That's what we needed. And we also need a 1x2 with a stud on in the center, which is kind of an unusual piece. We'll need a 1x4 black. I think we finally got everything. It's a lot of parts. No, of course we didn't get everything. We're missing the 2x8 plate. All right, so let's zoom in the instructions. Where are we at? We're going to stop. We're going to start adding pieces to the subassembly. There we go. Beautiful. I do love how neatly genuine Lego parts snap together. That's one of the big differences between Lego sets and other or sets from other suppliers. The Lego parts do snap together super nicely. Kind of a satisfying snap. I don't know if I have the sticker sheet. I'm gonna have to go check it out after I apply some of these flats Beautiful. There we go. Let me check if I have that sheet, that picture, and I do. I have the label here. So, Pine. What I normally do is these are not usually brand new Lego sets. I normally get like secondhand Lego sets, either from my son or from friends, and that's what I'm building. So this particular kit was from one of my friends who's actually a VW van enthusiast, and so that's kind of what this is. That's what we do. All right, I think I'm just kind of paying attention to what's going on in this picture because I want to make sure I don't apply the license plate upside down. So sometimes stuff like label sheets are incomplete or already applied. And sometimes kind of have to make do. All right, very nice. So now we've got the rear deck complete with license plate. I guess it'd be this way, right? So you can see it, you can read it. Nice. The white's a little washed out. I should probably bring the white balance down a little bit. All right, and let's apply the I guess that'd be the opening hitch. Oh, and then we also apply this crossbar. Very nice. And then these bad boys underneath it. There we go. Very nice. And where do these pieces come in, though? That is not in the subassembly. Ah, they come in this step. All right, so these basically flatten out what we are building on the corners. Very nice. And then these bars attach to the hooks that we've built. So now our engine compartment has a cover. So now I'll use this camera. So now our little engine compartment has a door, which should close all the way, but it's probably going to be fussy. There it goes. There it goes. It's probably going to be a little fussy though. And then we lift it open. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. There we go. Very nice. It's coming together. Coming together. All right. You know what? I'm just gonna like start grabbing parts out of here. Although sometimes you can't tell from this diagram what they've added, so I probably should separate them out. I'm a little surprised at the instructions on this set. Normally, at least on other Lego sets, larger Lego sets that I built, the instructions are like super clear about where the parts go, how many parts you're adding there. And this set, it's been a little like you have to pay really close attention to the diagrams that they're showing you. Very nice. And then we'll need a couple more of these curved bricks. And we'll need one more of those curved bricks. If I can find. I hope it's in here. All right, I'm gonna start pulling stuff out because we're nearly done with the bricks on this in this sorting bin. But I'm not convinced that we have everything we need, which is my concern. Nope, I got it. I sorted correctly. There we go. All right, and we'll continue building up that rear wall. Very nice. And then the 1x3 bricks on the inside, like so. There we go. That's a little better. And then we stack these gray 1x2 plates on top of the red 1x2 plates. And we put them here. Very nice. Continuing, we'll need some 1x3, a single 1x3 plate, which I hope I have, which I hope I sorted. I may not have. I may have to go searching. Oh, no, I did. I should trust myself more. All right, and we'll need 2 of these interesting ladder bits. We'll need a couple of these snot bricks. And we'll need 4 black studs. This is such a terrible diagram. They're actually not black studs. They're these kind of brown, dark brown studs. It's actually a dark brown color, kind of a chocolate. This PDF is, or whatever they're using in the Lego app is terrible. I mean, you can hardly even tell that that's a stud. It's pretty low res. All right, I think I got everything. Indeed I do. All right, the 2x3 goes there and ties that together nicely. And then we're going to drop a stud there for spacing. And then one of these white snot bricks, and then another stud. And then one of the red ladder parts goes on top of the gray, just like so. On the other side, we'll drop the red ladder part here, which is going to look like a vent, essentially. Just want to make sure I put this in the right place, but I think what happens is we put it on the 4th stud. Yep, which is opposite the other side. Nicely. Drop that. Beautiful. All right. Just making sure everything's in nice and tight. But you can see it's kind of got that it's got that vent shape that the VW vans have on the side, on the rear. Those air intakes for the engine, the air-cooled engine, right? Growing up, we had a VW bus. It wasn't one of these guys. It was one of the newer, bigger ones. But pretty similar engine. Pretty similar engine, and venting, of course. All right. There we go. Beautiful. And what we're doing here, adding the plates, is this whole section is leveled out, so it's at the same level. And 1 by 1. Beautiful. Looking good. then we're going to take that 2x2 L piece. We're going to take some 1x2 plates. I need 3 of those. If I can pull them out of the bin. There we are. And just a single 1x2 plate. Oh, and I, of course, left out. It's a snot brick with a ledge on the bottom. 2 of them, in fact. There we go. All right, so we're going to build on top of this L piece. I'm going to make sure I have it in the right orientation. Otherwise, I'm going to build it wrong. So the snot brick goes like that. That's going to go there like so. We're going to add a couple of red plates. Yep, that's right. Then we're going to add the brick. And the other snot brick. And then the plate on top, tying the snot bricks and the brick together. And then this gets dropped on the inside. Just want to make sure I have this in the right place. That looks like the right spot. Yep, so if I count, there'll be 4 studs in between these bricks, so we're good to go. Looks like we'll be building out more of that interior, so let's go. And so this next step is gonna need this really interesting hinged part, which you can use for variable angles. I'm just gonna pull parts out as I get them because it's pretty minimal in terms of number of parts needed per step. We line it up like that. We'll need a couple of bricks, a 1x2 and a 1x3. And the 1x3 ties those parts together. And the 1x2 finishes it. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but we have our own category now, which is so cool. Brick building. It was just added end of November, early December. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. I know before Lego streamers used to have to stream either in the just chatting category or in the makers and crafting category. Yeah. So it's a kind of a new thing, and I'm digging it. I'm really happy that that got added. Right? It's kind of like recognition of the growing streamer base. All right, so that's what we need. We'll drop a 1x1 there. I needed 2 of these red snot bricks, and I only pulled 1. And of course, it's going to be in the other bin. Nope. Oh, here it is. So we'll add. It is nice that Twitch has been recognizing that and changing and adding. It's interesting, right? Because normally it's other categories that get that kind of publicity, right? Like, of course, Amaranth always pushing those borders, for like hot tub and pool streams and what have you. But this is, or the pet streams, right? The animals and pets streams, and so yeah, it's kind of nice to see that it's not just cater to that. There you go. Hot tuba. All right. Let's pull some parts here. Need a 1x3. And we'll need another gray snot brick. So that's going to tie these pieces together. That's going to even out the height. And this also keeps this the same height. Very nice. And then we're going to take another one of those hinged pieces, which I dropped on the other side, and a 1x3. And the hinged piece is going to cap this off and tie it together. So it'll be pretty solid. It's a pretty solid part. And that 1x3 finishes it off. What else are we adding? We're adding more. All right, we need a 1x1. Just going to go here, apparently. Then we're going to need a 1x4 plate, which I have here. And then a 1x1 brick. There we go. All right, so we're going to make another subassembly. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to start building with some of these tan pieces. So we'll need a 2x3 tan. We'll need 3 of these L bits. If I can pull it out of the bin. There is some possibility that I only sorted 2 of these and not 3. Oh, no, I sorted 3. It was just stuck. And then 3 of these pieces, which I hadn't seen before, but they're really interesting. I'll show them in a second. As soon as I pull the others out. Give me a sec. So it's a 1x1. It's like an interior corner. So it's got really interesting geometry to it. Right? So it's a little washed out, but you can kind of make it out. It kind of reminds me of Qbert, right? So you kind of like put them together. Anyways, I'm probably the only one who remembers that game in the arcade. All right. This is my buddy Kelaska. It's an older video. This is like 2016, when she was still posting stuff like every week. Welcome back, Cute Pie. Great to have you. Okay. All right. Very nice. And then I'm going to put these corner pieces in this orientation. It's an interesting little sub-assembly. It's kind of like some shelves, some shelving, maybe. All right, and we're going to attach it using the snot brick attachments. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit just to make sure. I think we're doing it like that. if I'm looking at the diagram correctly. There we go. Yep. And then we're going to drop it in. Where are we going to drop it? We're going to drop it on this side. And these gray snot bricks are going to line up with the gray snot bricks that you see here. So it's going to sit just like that. So it's interesting. We got a little gap here. I'm sure that'll be filled in somehow. Guess we'll see. All right. Very nice. Coming together. We are gonna grab some more parts. 1x1 brick corner. A couple of these 1x2 tan parts with a stud in the center. A couple of the dark brown studs. And a 1x3 flat. Yep. I think we got everything. So the studs will go on these tan parts as shown in the diagram. So pre-assembled because they're drawers apparently, right? Let me turn it around. You can see it. Probably better, right? I'm going to open it up just to make it a little easier to assemble. There we go. Nice. And then these parts, where did they go? So I'm going to need to flip it around because I want to make sure I get the orientation correct. So this corner brick goes there, and this flat goes right here. Beautiful. All right, continuing with some black parts. Some 3x3 corner bits. We need one 1x1 plate and a couple of 2x4 plates. Very nice. All right, and then the 2x4s go here. And then 1x1 covers up the rest of that corner piece. More sub-assemblies. Let's go. So we need one of these hinge parts and a 1x3. And we're gonna kind of set it up against the other side. Continue. Need a 1x2 brick, but also 1x2 plate and a 1x3 brick. And the brick is going to tie this together, and the plate is going to go on the other end. It's kind of feeling like we're going to put it on this side, but we'll see. It's feeling like the opposite side. One by three. And this really interesting snot piece. It's got a 2x2 on top and then 4 studs on the side. All right, and so we're going to put the 1x2 there and a 1x3 here, and then the snot brick on the other side. There we go. There we go. Grab some bricks. We'll grab a plate. We're making good progress on our bin. I'm feeling like we're probably going to work on finishing this bin, and that's going to probably do it for the night. That was not the right location. Let me grab my brick separator, because that was not correct. Oh boy. There we go. Glad I caught it early, though. And then we put the 1x3 plate on top. All right. And we're going to take this gray 4x4. This gets opened up like that. And we're going to zoom in on that just to make sure we attach this correctly. All right. That looks right. So we got 2 studs here. All right. And then we'll need a corner bit, which will go here. We'll need a tan 1x1 brick and a 1x1 plate. There, there. All right. We need a couple of tan 1x2 plates. Oof. So, Cute Pie, Pine, what are your holiday plans? For our part, we're probably going to stay local, right? Cute Pie is actually my sister Pine, and she's with my parents, and they're like all the way across the country, 3,000 miles away. Unfortunately, we can't go visit them this winter. Nice. Yeah. I mean, we're trying to limit trips. It's still a little funny with COVID, isn't it? Right? I mean, and being outside, and so we're trying to be careful. In fact, we just got a notification that last Friday, my daughter was exposed at school. So far, so good. Don't expect any problems, but she should be fine. It's just one of those things that you just gotta stay conscious of, mindful of, right? So, this feels like it's a microwave, huh? Let's see. It kind of looks like a microwave. It's got a nice little door that opens and closes. I guess maybe if it was a microwave, the door would be transparent. All right, so we're going to set that there. That does not look right. Okay. So why did it have me gather all these parts? Oh, because the parts need to be applied. Duh. It's quite open there. Yeah. I mean, it's fairly open here too. We're in California. And so where I am, the COVID situation is actually much better than the rest of the country overall. And the risk of contracting COVID is still pretty low, especially if you're vaccinated, especially if you're still masking. But it's kind of like always in your mind, right? At least for us, since we have kids, and we want to be able to hang out with some friends. For Christmas, we're probably going to see some of my wife's family. assuming everything goes well. Yeah, I saw that cute pie that cases have been climbing in Maine. That's disappointing. I'm not sure. Oh, here it is. So we plan to get together with some friends, assuming no issues. Friends and family, if there's no issues. All right. Let's see. I don't want to mess this up again, which I'm quite liable to do. There we go. And then the brick goes over here. Beautiful. The snot bricks facing that way. Then there's a vent facing outwards. And I should have applied this 1x1 plate earlier instead of making it hard on myself, but there you go. So that's kind of neat. It's got a little vent, I assume it's oven or microwave. That's pretty neat. All right, I need 1x2. I need this 1x3. I need some gray parts, including a 1x1 flat and a couple of these shelf parts. Follow me, Mexico. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, cases in Mexico are actually super high. So definitely safer to not go at the moment. And kind of let things play out for now. Whoa, that flew off. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. And then it's got another one opposite it. Very nice. I'm going to finish it off with this 1x3 brick. Just so. It's interesting. You can kind of see through it. Right? It's kind of visible, right? You can see behind it. That's kind of neat. I wonder if that's on purpose. I'm sure it is. All right, we're going to need another one of these hinge pieces. We're going to need a black stud. Not black stud, it's one of these. I think it's it's actually a gray stud. Maybe it is black. God, it's so hard to tell. Oh, you know what? I found it. It's actually a dark gray stud, whose color doesn't go with anything else. But it's a dark gray. You can see it's the same color as this part here. That's funny. Anyways. And we'll need a wedge. Oh, man. These things. All right. And we're going to attach that there, making it a nice solid unit. And then we're going to add the black stud on the end over here. And the wedge on this end bit right there, kind of wedge downwards. Yep. We're going to need another couple of 1x2 plates, 1x3 plate, and 4 gray 1x2 flats. Doctor said no travel for you. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense to travel right now, honestly. Cute pie. It's better to just, like I said, be safe, enjoy your holiday without having to worry or quarantine or, you know, it's just one of those things. Then the rest of the plates go on this side. Nice. All right, it looks like we're ready to mount the part onto the van. All right, so if I'm reading this correctly, we're going to mount it like that, which kind of makes sense because if you look at it over here, we're kind of finishing this wall. So down it goes. We're going to like shove it right onto the frame. But it's kind of neat that I think it's on purpose, right? That these pieces open and you can kind of see inside the van, even though normally you wouldn't be able to. So that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. All right. Let's see how much of this we can finish. 1x1 brick and a 1x1 plate. An inverted 2x2 wedge. This little piece that looks like a little gun. And a snot brick. Actually, we need 4 of those inverted wedges. All right, let's pull. All right, so inverted wedges start here, I think. This 1x1 would go here. Nope. Nope, it goes here. 1 stud over, aligning with the inverted wedge. Get another inverted wedge here. We get the snot brick, which apparently we're going to assemble this handle. Must be a handle, right? It's not a gun, it's a handle. Right. There we are. Right there. And a 1x1 plate, making it the same height. And then more wedges. Right there. So there we go. It's a handle, right? Flip. Very nice. One moment. I need to put my attention. Okay, back. Ha! 4 candles. It's more like a door handle. There you go. That's kind of nice. On the minivan, the Volkswagen bus that we had, it was a sliding door. It didn't have the what do they call them, barn doors? So very nice, and a couple of 1x4 plates, and we're going to continue building out the black layer here. I'm going to zoom in on that just to make sure I get that right. All right, so corner piece there. 1 by 1. Nope, that's right. 1 by 4 there. Another 1 by 4 here. Yep. Corner piece here. And a 1 by 1 plate there. Very nice. So it's got that black layer going on. And now we're going to add a white layer. All right, we'll need 4 of these. 1 of these. You know, I think we're going to take like all of our white flat top parts, basically. And hopefully they'll all add up to this. All right. All right. Yep. Yep. And then we also have a 1 by 1 flat top. And 2 of these 2 by 1s with bars on the end. All right, which are handy for hinges. All right, I think we got everything. So let's start capping these parts. So obviously there. We'll try to make that nice and straight. All right, there we go. And then a 3 wide here. Then a 2. And another 2. Then another 3, which I did not pull out. My bad. And then a 1 by 2 here. And then the longest piece here. And a 1 by 4 here. And a 1 by 2 in the back. So now we built a little bit of a white layer there. Looks nice. And we'll keep this simple because although I am going to need to zoom in. So we're going to drop these parts in here. It's going to tie the frame together. So it's going to go just like that. And this red 1 by 2 right next to it there. We're going to add some more of these tan parts. These are interesting. I think they're 2 bricks tall. Yeah, they're 2 bricks tall. 1 by 2, 2 bricks tall. Oh, I do need that part actually. And I missed placing these parts. Oopsie. Let me back it up. Where did they go? Yep. It was in this step. And I was supposed to place them right here. 1 on that side. 1 on that side. My scrobbling app doesn't know what this song is. Let's tell it. All right, better. And we did that step. Okay, so the diagram is a little wonky because of the perspective, but I'm going to assume that we put a piece here, and then I'm going to assume on this side that it's exactly the opposite. And then the third one here. And then the 2 by 6 brick here. come together well. All right, then we have a large plate and a 1x2 plate. So the 1x2 plate goes there. It's going to help me locate the large one. And it's going to be centered, I'm assuming. Let's count to make sure, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's correct. I'm going to give it a good squeeze to make sure that everything's nice and tight. All right, nearly done here. Couple of 1x2 plates, a couple of 1x3 plates. We need a single 1x4 white plate. And 4 1x1 clips, which we have here. I'll show you what these clips look like. I can pull the last one from the bin. So they have clips that face upward, or I guess perpendicular to the surface. Of course, notice here, it doesn't tell you where any of the pieces go. You have to go hunting for where it placed them. Okay. So what's going on here is I'm going to put them in the front, right? And let's start with 1x2, which is going to go here on the edge. Then a 1x3. A 1x4 in the center, like that. And then the other parts opposite. One by two. There we go. And then the clips go in a very particular order. I'm assuming that this is for like the steering system. So I want to make sure I put them in the right place and I orient them correctly. So that one there. This one here. And then this one here. Try to straighten them out so they're not crooked. That's also the problem with 1x1 bricks is they can just be like the tiniest bit of skew and mess you up. There we go. That's pretty close. I might have to straighten that out later. But you can see a very particular placement of those clip parts. Peculiar? Maybe peculiar is the right word. All right, let's grab parts. Nearly done. All right, only one each of these parts. All right, this wedge will go on top of this 2x2, which will go right there. And then this flat will go on top of the 1x2 part with the bar. And that is going to clip in to one of the clips that we placed. Just like that. You can see it's good. Oh, you know what that is? That's the gas pedal. All right. Very nice. We'll need a couple of large plates. We'll need a couple of these white parts. These white parts have specialized clips that bars will fit into. And we'll need a couple of 1x2. I kind of want to call them crimson, but it's kind of like it's kind of a brown crimson, kind of an odd color. let's see. So these parts, how do we start placing them? Okay, so I'm going to start with this part here, which is going to help me locate the other parts. Then the one wide plate will go here, and the crimson part on the other side. And then the larger plate will go here. It'll straddle. And then these parts here. Is this a bench seat? I feel like maybe this is a bench seat. Grumpy, good to see you, buddy. Yes, this is for a long time. This is, well, I guess it still is, right? It's one of Danny's intro songs. So, and then for the longest time, she would play this at the end of the stream as the outro. It's been really fun, Grumpy. It's been really fun. Not as complicated overall as the Viper, which is kind of nice. The instructions, I'd say, though, leave a lot for your attention, right? So you have to pay really close attention to where things go, because they don't tell you specifically. Like, for example, in this page, they tell you that you're going to sort these pieces out, but they don't tell you where they go. You have to kind of pick out where the parts go. But that's been my only negative of the build. It's really cool looking. We've got, we've been building up the rear of the van and the side. It's got a little door. It opens up. Making parts of the interior. I don't know if you can see super well, but it's got a little microwave down in there. So yeah, it's coming together super nicely. Oh, we built the door for the engine, right? Which is, if I can pull it open without breaking stuff, you can see the engine inside. Yeah, they don't even highlight it. No. Oh yeah, the blue one is the T2, the second gen one. Yep. So, but yeah, I've been enjoying this quite a lot. It's been fun, and it's a little less stressful than the Viper, because I don't have to cradle it and like gingerly place parts on it and hope that stuff isn't gonna fall off. Right? So that was always a concern with the Viper. As much as I enjoyed the Viper, that was always a concern. So we're nearly done with this sorting bin. I think we're going to call it quits after this. If anybody has any friends that they'd like to visit, that would be a good time to let me know. See if they're live. See if they're still going. I'm open to suggestions. Always up for meeting new friends. So I have some parts in here. But I wonder, oh, I must have missed some steps. Let me back it up. I missed steps. A few steps. Oh, no, somehow I skipped forward a bunch of steps. I don't know what happened. That was weird. Okay. You were here. We just applied these. But I think we're just going to do the tap. Oh, this is a sink. That's what that is. It's a sink, you guys. The bin is empty. All right. Let's see. What am I going to have for dinner? That's a great question. I'm going to try to finish my Boddingtons. and we'll figure out something. All right, and then the tap. It's a really cool gold tap part, right, for the sink. And this bad boy is going to sit right there. So now we officially have a sink in the van. I'll go up here because this camera's probably a little better. So we have a sink, and I don't know if that's very electrically safe, but I don't know if that's a shelf or a microwave underneath it, but there we are. We got, on the inside we got some shelving, got some drawers. Yeah, today's we made some really nice progress on the build. We added some doors, super fun. And everything came together super nicely. I dig it. Fantastic. That's where we're going to leave it for today. Let's take a look and see who is on. Oh, we got some friends streaming. We got Sashi. We got Composy, Celestial Bean. We got Chris Music. All good friends. All good friends. How about we go? Let me see what Chris Music is doing. It says they're Christmas caroling. I don't know if they're doing that live or if it's, they're just singing Christmas songs on stream. But that would be a nice way to wind down. So let's see what they're up to. So give me a moment. Thanks. Oh, of course, Bun. Yeah, definitely. Get some rest, my friend. Thanks for coming. Yeah, this is, I want this place to be a nice, chill space to hang out. Like I said, listen to some music, do a little bit of chatting, or not. You can just lurk if you'd like, and just have a little bit of fun. So, my friends in Chris Music, they're a duo. They're in Southern California. Chelsea, who's the singer, she's got an amazing voice. Brian is fantastic on the keyboard. He also plays some guitar really well. Not to take anything away from that, but I think you'll like them if you haven't followed them already. So we're gonna go rating. Let's see if I get the calls correctly. Rating. Yeah. Raid. Sub-raid. Nice. Chris Music. Oh. Grumpy, thank you so much for the cheers. I really appreciate that, friend. Chris Music. Always stopping in late. You can stop in whenever you like, whether it's, towards the end of stream or not. So you're always welcome here, man. And definitely no pressure to cheer bits or sub. I just enjoy having friends here and chatting. So thank you so much for being here. I am going to try to stream more this coming week. In fact, I'm going to try to stream tomorrow. I may even try to sneak in a Christmas night stream. So not Christmas Eve, but Christmas night stream. And then we'll see what else we can sneak in over the weekend. Maybe we'll do a watch party, a Prime watch party on Twitch for the Wheel of Time. We've been watching through that. So if you guys want to see that, we've gone through episodes 1 through 3. We're going to keep going on episode 4. So I'm going to check that out. So we have, and then next week, hopefully we'll, I'm completely off from work next week. So hopefully we'll be streaming a lot more next week as well. All right. Great to see you, friends. Thank you for stopping in, and we'll see you next time. All right. Bye. Fuck.